pick up where we left off in the mobile app creation. So we gave our table a label and a name and an auto number. One thing that we did not cover in the last video was the management of access to that table. Since we did create user and admin roles, let's go ahead and give them the functionality that we believe they should have. So for a user, I plan on them creating records, reading records, and writing to those records. We might even have a manager role that we would want to delegate write access to, but for now, let's go ahead and give that to the user. And then an admin role, create, read, write, and delete. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. And we see that the table was created and 12 fields were created. Let's click continue. Now the next step asks which data tables you want to use for the app. Because I know what this application is going to do, I actually started with the data table. So we've already created the aviation data table. That's the data table that we will use. If we decided that we needed to create another table for that data, we would have the power to do that here. So we'll say we're done with tables for now. And now it's time to design the application. So we're going to go ahead and click Start. Now it's time to customize the design of the mobile experience. So we might want to say that this application is available offline. We also might want to pick a particular app icon. And since we're talking about aviation data, let's pick the paper airplane. We can even give that a specific color. And we'll click Create. And at this point, you should be ready to start building more on your application. If you feel like you want to add another application as a part of this suite, you can do that from here. But for now, we're going to say we're done with apps. And now that we're done designing in the Guided App Creator, let's jump over to the studio on the right-hand side to jump in and start designing the layout of the applets that we want. So we'll click Go to Studio. And we'll pick our aircraft maintenance application. And you'll notice on the left-hand navigation panel that a data item and a simple list applet have been created for each table that you selected earlier. On each of the applets, you have the option to edit, delete, and create. It also created an applet launcher with all of your applets. The benefit of Guided App Creator is that it allows you to quickly skip through the first few steps in building any simple mobile app, and you can always update or delete them as needed. To show your applets in the mobile app, you've got to associate each of those applets to an applet launcher, and then associate the applet launcher to a navigation bar on the mobile client that you want. In this lab, the applet launcher and the applets have automatically been created for you. So in the left-hand navigation, open the applet launcher. You can rename the title of the header if you would like. In this case, we're not going to rename the header. We're going to leave it just the same. We do want to include an icon, and we're going to select the applet for aviation data, and we'll create an icon just to double check and make sure that we've got the roles associated with the permissions for this applet launcher. We've got the user and the admin that are able to see that. If you're building this application as an admin and you do not have these two roles, just make sure that you give yourself those roles before continuing. And just to double check the properties of the application, you'll notice that the available offline is checked because you did make that selection early on. All right, folks, let's take just a moment to break down a few of the concepts that we've been talking about. So in the mobile studio, we have a lot of tongue twisters. We've got application menus, applets, applet launchers, data items, action items, access controls. These are all things that as a developer you will have interfaced with in some form or fashion, with the exception of applets and applet launchers. All of the rest are your base tables, your access controls, your UI policies, things like that. But what we're going to talk about for the rest of the demo is how we configure that Now mobile app. And I do want to call out the differences between the two applications. We do have the Now mobile app, which is end user focused. So as you can see here, as an end user wanting to either review the aviation data or simply maybe go look for more information within the knowledge base, they could do that here. The next application we'll highlight is the agent application. This would be where your fulfillers go to actually do the work. So once we've completed this demonstration, we will have application menus built for both the Now Mobile client and the Mobile Agent client. So stay tuned for the rest of the video and we'll break down some more of the concepts in the left-hand Application Explorer. So taking a peek at the Mobile Studio, we will see the application menus for Mobile Agent and for Now Mobile. We will focus on the Now Mobile application for right now. And we're going to go ahead and create a new navigation tab for this application. So the navigation tab will be for aircraft maintenance, and we'll give it an order of 5 so that it shows up first in our application menu. And now it's time to jump over and check out the mobile application and see what we've created. So as you can see on the home page, we've got the aircraft maintenance logo. We also have the home, services, and information logos, which are all tied to the ITSM mobile application. If we had data in this table, we would see it here. We do have one action that's default out of the box called New, where we can go in and actually create test data that we would use later. And we can configure the way that data looks on the screen. And we can get to that in the next example.